So I covered these greens up before it got cold. And we've had a lot of cold weather since then. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. I had an extra tub, so I kind of double tubbed it. So now I'm just cutting off it. I might as well get, you know, enough for a side dish. So I just cut the tops off. Plant's still there. Things don't really grow in the winter. Got warm enough to unbury some of the winter interest. Wanted to take it to my favorite spot. This isn't it. Look how gorgeous these evergreens are still after all that cold. Gorgeous. I didn't cover these because they didn't look like they needed it. Rhododendrons did look like they needed covered. I uncovered them because it's warm. I have a couple days of warm, but look at that leaf. That doesn't look healthy, and I don't see any buds. Is that a bud? Oh, maybe there's a bud. They're just small. So anyway, this ground cover was covered in snow. You could just see the tips of the branches sticking out. My little new Mugo. It's been too cold to spend more than a minute outside, but basically I go from the house to the chicken coop, which is warm-ish, and the greenhouse, which is also warm-ish. And then some of my more expensive weeping blue spruce. Okay, blue spruce. Do not remember the name of this yellow one, but ain't she a beaut? She's like so pretty. Looks a light. That went into the ground like the ground is thawing, even though it still has snow on it. Alberta spruce, they're tucked around the yard. They're not an expensive little evergreen, so of course I picked a few of them. I uncovered the pencil hollies. I'm never out here dark enough to get the Christmas lights. It's just never going to be that video. But with the naked eye, the lights look really nice and they're bright. That one's not on yet. This one's on. So I have 3 little trees with colored lights on them that look pretty good off camera. The rest of the lights aren't on yet. The greenhouse lights are on, but so are the plant lights, so it kind of dims out the garden lights. But there's lights around the garden that I can't get on film. It's been so cold. Like, I can see them from the kitchen window, and that's good enough. I moved this dogwood in the spring to add to the winter interest on this side, which when I started there was none. So my goal is to have a winter garden. And I do have a lot of smalls. As they grow in, still make a statement. These trees get too big to put in the ground. They came from the lake house property. They've grown quite a bit since we brought them home and potted them up. But all the trees that are in pots are going to be too big to put in the ground. And I have bamboo. Has a nice yellow structure. They've all been put in pots. This is the most prominent one because I can't put anything in the ground here because of the septic. It's a nice place to put these bigger pots. This is one of the trees that came from the lake property, and they were all around the same size. And that one was put in a big pot 2 years ago, maybe 3, and look how much bigger it is. So pot size matters for sure. But so far I'm happy with what I was able to do in the last year or so. Lavender. Lavender looks pretty good most of the year. It's a good addition. I was able to add the yews. 4. I was buying things that will work for the winter garden, but not knowing where I was going to put them. So things will continue to move around. Wind blew the birdhouse down again. I really like the birdhouse. I just gotta find a way to make it so it doesn't fall. Add something to make it stay up. So the bamboo, I dug it up from the ground because I found it wandering. So it's going to take a while to grow in, but I put it here to hide this fence post, which we had to put the fence up to keep ducks in the yard. I like the structures, even though they don't have leaves on them. I still like the structures. And they've grown quite a bit since we put them in. Definitely adds. This one has a nice color to it. It's, I'll put it on the screen. Maple. Undetermined what the maple is. Bamboo in this pot's doing much better. But I started with 3 pieces of bamboo, and then they started running, and I started digging them up and putting them in pots. I got one more runner out of the ground before it froze. So I'll have to keep looking for runners. This was really, really orange when I bought it in the spring. How orange that is. Structure. Grasses I just started adding. There's only berries on the bottom, and usually the berries don't last long. Holly. Berries don't last long because the birds, critters, eat them pretty quickly. I want to add more holly for sure. And grasses, I still want to add some. I noticed when I was researching grasses that they have deep roots, so I have to be careful. And some of them get too big for the space that I have. So I have to be careful. Do more research. I lost half the grasses I bought, so the one I liked the most came back. It was yellow when I bought it. It didn't turn yellow this year, so it must have been stress from the container. Trees along the back fence also are too big for our yard. The pot's crooked. But I like them anyway. I'm okay with having trees in pots to fill in the gaps where I need trees. Super happy with it. So yeah, the goal is to have a garden that's interesting, pretty, has color all year round. Because our winters here are 6 months out of the year. We don't have much of a spring or a fall. A little bit. Not enough for a gardener to, you know, grow cold crops and things like that. I love it. The overflow has a nice Christmas vibe. Happy holidays to us. Merry Christmas to all. Got a snowblower. Got a good deal on it, so hopefully it'll do a good job. Look at this rhododendron. The leaves came back to normal after it warmed up. So this is my first rhododendron on this property. And the one I had a long time ago in my old garden didn't survive. They do have buds, and the leaves, as soon as it warms up, turn back to normal. But I have an ice storm coming tomorrow. We do. Here. So I'm wrapping it back up. Now this one's losing its green too, so I might as well cut this one back too. The small new shoot's still green, but the leaves don't look good. Yeah, I think I'll cut all this stuff back. Still looks good. Now, if this dies back on top, I can cut the top off and possibly the roots are still good. The greenhouse usually doesn't freeze in the middle. That's the bok choy, the baby bok choy. I've already cut that and ate half of it. I'm going to clean up this one spot. I don't seem to have this on the other side. Must have already cleaned it up. Elephant in the room is I started seeds, some baby choy, some collards, bunching onions. That's what those are called, bunching onions, the green onions. Bells of Ireland, which I've never grown. We pick a new flower every year. I see sprouts. This is the first one I planted. This one's Swiss chard. Swiss chard does a lot better for me than spinach and really cooks the same way. And it's pretty. It's a pretty plant. These are delphiniums. They were started in the fall. So I have two. They're nice looking plants. Okay. So I don't work in here very long. I come in here and I work for a little while. I watered everything yesterday. But you know what? I don't want to overwater. have a dustpan in here, so I'll just clean up and leave.